Have you ever felt it? That strange sense that this has all happened before. The same choices, the same patterns, like your soul is reliving the same script endlessly. Welcome, traveler. You didn't find this video by chance. There's a reason you're here, right now, in this exact moment. Because what if this very moment has already happened? Countless times. Today we'll peer beyond the veil of time itself. We'll explore an ancient idea now being echoed by modern science, that you and everything you've ever experienced may be trapped in a divine time loop. But don't be alarmed. By the end of this journey, you'll understand why this cycle exists, how you can awaken within it, and perhaps even break free from the loop. Let us begin not with technology, but with a whisper from the past. The ancient Hermeticists spoke of time not as a straight line, but as a circle. As above, so below. As within, so without. As the end, so the beginning. To them, existence was not a linear march from birth to death, but an eternal recurrence, a cosmic spiral, and they were not alone. The Stoics believed the universe was consumed and reborn in an endless fire. The Hindus called it Kalachakra, the wheel of time, forever turning. The Buddhists taught of samsara, a cycle of rebirth until enlightenment frees the soul. The Gnostics saw material reality as a recursive prison, looping until gnosis shattered the illusion. But these were not merely myths or metaphors. They were maps, blueprints, guides left for those with eyes to see. And now, centuries later, modern physics is beginning to echo the same song. What these mystics intuited, science is now measuring. And it's here, at this mysterious crossroads, that we find our first paradox. What if time isn't passing, but folding? What if the past, present, and future are all happening now, stacked like translucent layers, and your soul, your consciousness, is navigating them like notes in a divine symphony? In a moment, we'll explore the scientific revelations that suggest this looping reality isn't fantasy, but our hidden truth. Ready to step further in? Imagine a scientist staring into the fabric of the universe and realizing the thread is loop. That scientist was John Archibald Wheeler, a brilliant physicist who once worked alongside Einstein. But unlike many of his peers, Wheeler began to ask forbidden questions. What if reality only exists because we observe it? This wasn't poetic metaphor. It was measurable. Wheeler proposed the Participatory Universe theory, that the act of observing collapses possibilities into actuality, that we are not just in the universe, we are co-creating it. And the implications? Shocking, because if we are observing reality into existence, and if observation can happen retroactively, then your choices, your focus, may be rippling backward through time. Welcome to the edge of reality, where physics begins to sound a lot like mysticism. Take the famous double-slit experiment. Particles behave like waves, probabilities until watched. When observed, they become fixed, real. It's as if the universe is rendering itself in real time, like a cosmic video game. To save processing power, only what you focus on becomes real. And if that's true, what does it mean about the rest of your life? The parts you don't remember, are they just waiting for you to observe them? Are your pasts and futures just probabilities, looping, waiting to be collapsed into this moment? Today's journey will take us deeper into this mystery. We'll explore the illusion of time, the power of the observer, how emotions and thought can shape the loop, and, perhaps most importantly, how to become conscious inside it. Because if we are trapped in a divine simulation, there must also be a way out. If we are trapped in a loop, it is not the body that's trapped, it is the energy. Mystics from every tradition have long described a hidden architecture of the human being. An energetic anatomy layered beyond the skin, beyond even the mind. The Vedas speak of prana, life force, the Taoists of chi. The Kabbalists map the tree of life upon the soul itself. In modern terms, we call it the human energy field, or aura. It is subtle, but it is real, and it holds the blueprint of your patterns, your past lives, your unconscious scripts, your loop. There are 7 primary layers of this field, each resonating with a different frequency. Etheric layer, closest to the body. It holds your physical vitality. Emotional layer, shaped by how you feel, anger, joy, sorrow, love. Mental layer, formed by thoughts, beliefs, and the stories you repeat. Astral layer, the bridge of relationships, love, and connection. Etheric template, a higher code, the matrix behind the matrix. Celestial layer, where intuition, divine love, and insight reside. Causal layer, your soul's purpose, your destiny thread across lifetimes. Each of these fields interacts with time differently. Some feel like now, others stretch beyond now, into echoes of the past, premonitions of the future. And here's the secret the ancients understood. When these layers become imbalanced, when emotion festers, when belief ossifies, your soul begins repeating the same scripts, the same heartbreak, the same limitations, the same lessons, again and again, not as punishment, but as feedback. Until the pattern is transformed, the loop will return. This is not superstition. It is energetic inertia. But once you become aware of the field, you begin to influence it. Like an artist restoring a stained canvas, you can clear the distortions. And from that stillness, create something new. Here lies the paradox at the center of the loop. You are the prisoner, but also the warden. And the key has always been in your hand. That key is the mind, not just the thinking mind, but the deep mind, the subconscious, the storyteller behind the story. Every belief you hold, every perception you repeat, every inner dialogue becomes a command. Your reality, your loop, is built on the programs running in this hidden operating system. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." Most of us live inside what mystics call the perception prison, a matrix not built by machines, but by meanings. Your earliest memories, the emotional tone of your upbringing, the ideas society told you were truth. Layer by layer, these beliefs solidify until the loop becomes invisible. You don't see the bars because you believe the cage is the world. But here's the revelation. Beliefs bend time. Beliefs shape what you observe, and what you observe becomes your loop. This is why 2 people in the same moment can live entirely different realities. One sees rejection, another sees redirection. One sees failure, the other a chance to evolve. Your mind isn't just reacting to reality, it's projecting it, frame by frame. And just like in quantum physics, what you focus on collapses into experience. Here's a reflection. Pause now. Think of one belief you've carried your whole life. Something deep, something unquestioned. Now ask, is this truth or just a familiar story? Because in questioning, the loop begins to crack. In awareness, the key begins to turn. If thoughts shape the loop, then emotions give it fuel. Emotion is energy in motion, emotion. And in the language of the ancients, every emotion carries a vibration. The alchemists believed emotions were like elements. Anger, fire, destructive yet transformative. Sadness, water, heavy but purifying. Joy, air, light and expansive. Fear, earth, dense but grounding. Each feeling is a frequency, and when left unacknowledged, that frequency begins to echo through your energy field. Over time, these echoes become patterns. Patterns become behaviors. Behaviors become identity. And identity becomes the loop. Ever notice how the same emotional themes return again and again? Different faces, different places, but the same feeling. It's not punishment. It's energetic momentum. But here's the secret the mystics knew. Emotions are not meant to be suppressed or indulged. They are meant to be alchemized, to transmute sorrow into wisdom, anger into courage, fear into focus, and joy into divine alignment. Try this now. Close your eyes. Bring to mind something that stirs you emotionally. Anything. A recent disappointment, a moment of joy, a subtle fear. Now feel where it lives in the body. Is it heat, a tightness, a tingling? Let it move. Let it flow. Don't label, don't judge. Just allow it to vibrate and evolve. Because once you allow energy to move, it transforms. This is emotional alchemy. This is how you cleanse your loop, not by force, but by flow. Now, we descend deeper into the mystery, where science and spirit converge. In ancient Egypt, the Hermetic sages taught the laws of the universe, unseen forces governing all things. They whispered truths like, the all is mind. As above, so below. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. These weren't just poetic reflections. They were codes, laws for mastering the loop. Thousands of years later, quantum physics would echo the same truths. Let's begin with the law of mentalism. All reality is consciousness. Matter arises not from substance, but from mind. In quantum experiments, particles don't even exist as things until someone observes them. It's called the observer effect. It means you are not just seeing the universe, you are interacting with its code. Then there's the law of vibration. Everything, every thought, emotion, event vibrates at a frequency, and those frequencies attract their match. This aligns with quantum resonance, where like frequencies entangle, amplify, and manifest. And the law of correspondence. As above, so below. As within, so without. It reveals the holographic nature of existence. Every part contains the whole. Every thought echoes across time. Modern science calls it non-locality or entanglement, where particles remain mysteriously linked across vast distances. Change one, and the other responds instantly, even across time. This leads to a radical idea. If everything is connected, then every thought you think shapes the cosmos. When you feel joy, authentic joy, the loop bends toward it. When you embody fear, deep ancestral fear, the loop repeats it. So ask yourself, what loop am I feeding with my focus? What frequency do I vibrate into the field? Because this universe, this loop, is listening, and it speaks the language of energy. Knowledge is power, but practice is freedom. If you are to reshape the loop, to step outside the cycles of unconscious repetition, you must learn to master the subtle energies within you. Let's begin. Close your eyes. Now slowly scan your body from crown to root. Don't judge what you feel, just notice. Where is the tension? Where is the ease? Is the energy sharp, dull, warm, tingling? Now rub your hands together gently. Then slowly separate them. Can you feel a subtle magnetic push? A warmth? A tingling field? That's your energy. The more you practice sensing it, the more real it becomes. Not because it was never real, but because your attention turns it on. Now that you can sense, let's learn to clear. Try this. Place one hand on your heart, the other on your belly. Inhale slowly through the nose. Hold for 4 counts. Exhale gently through the mouth. Repeat. Now visualize a stream of golden light descending from above. washing through your body, clearing stuck emotion, stagnant thought, past energy. Let the breath and the image work together, like wind through a temple. You can also use alternate nostril breathing. Close your right nostril. Inhale through the left, close the left. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right, close the right. Exhale through the left. Repeat this cycle 5-7 times. Feel the shift. Balance returns. The loop softens. Now we focus the energy, because where intention goes, energy flows. State your intention clearly and in the present. Not "I want to be free," but "I am awakening to my power. I am the creator of my reality." Then visualize it, not as something distant, but as already done. Feel the emotion of it. The energy must match the frequency of the outcome. This is quantum alignment. Daily, take time to speak your intention aloud, see it, feel it. Act in small ways that align with it. This is not fantasy. It's how energy reshapes reality. And with repetition, new timelines begin to branch. The loop begins to bend. And you, dear traveler, become not a prisoner of fate, but a conscious architect of the future. Even with practice, many find themselves stuck, as if there's a hidden hand pulling them back into the loop. Same arguments, same fears, same self-sabotage. Why? Because beneath the mind, beneath the energy, lie the blocks. These are not weaknesses. They are unhealed echoes, frozen fragments of the past, repeating until seen. Most of them are formed in early life through emotion. I'm not enough. Love is dangerous. It's not safe to be seen. I must struggle to earn worth. These thoughts lodge into the subconscious and become scripts that override your intentions. You set goals, but sabotage them. You seek love, but push it away. You long for freedom, but recreate the prison. These are the bricks in your loop. But here's the gift. Every block carries its own solution, hidden inside. Let's try a simple exercise. Close your eyes. Ask yourself, what am I avoiding right now in my life? Whatever arises, don't push it away. Lean into it. Now ask, what belief lives under this avoidance? I'll fail. No one cares. It's hopeless. Feel it. Acknowledge it. This is your brick. Now, imagine writing that belief on a brick in your hand. Hold it. Feel its weight, the story it carries. Now ask, what is the opposite truth? If "I'll fail" is the belief, then maybe "I am evolving through every step" is your new code. Hold both truths in your hands. Then let the old brick dissolve into light. Breathe it out. Let it go. You've just rewritten a piece of your loop. Remember, you don't have to fix everything all at once. You only have to become aware. Awareness is the light that melts repetition. And as you do this daily, the walls will begin to fall, and you'll see what was always waiting behind them. A path you've never walked, a version of you that has never looped, a freedom that is not earned, but remembered. If you've ever felt like you were doing all the right things, but nothing changed, it may be because the three pillars weren't aligned. In the quantum field, change happens not when you simply think differently, but when thought, emotion, and action move as one. Thought is the blueprint. Emotion is the magnet. Action is the anchor. But most people live in misalignment, thinking about abundance, while feeling fear, while acting from lack, saying, "I deserve love," while doubting their worth, while avoiding vulnerability. In this split state, the loop continues. The signal you send is scrambled. But when you come into alignment, you become a tuning fork for quantum transformation. Let's try a ritual. Clarify the desire. Name it, own it, speak it aloud. I am living with clarity and purpose. Align the belief. Ask, do I truly believe this is possible for me? If not, find a bridge belief. I am learning to trust in my clarity. Feel the emotion. Call up the emotion you would feel if it were already true. Is it peace, joy, excitement? Let that emotion flood your field. Take inspired action now. Ask, what small step would the aligned version of me take today? It could be a message, a decision, a boundary, a breath. Then act, even if it's imperfect, even if it's small, because action, anchored in alignment, sends a clear signal to the quantum field. This is who I am now. And reality begins to respond. Alignment isn't about perfection. It's about coherence. And in coherence, the loop begins to shimmer, to crack, to yield. You're no longer reacting to reality. You're reprogramming it now that you've unlocked awareness and tasted alignment. The next step is integration, because transformation is not a one-time event. It's a daily practice, a sacred rhythm. Here are a few simple rituals to anchor your awakening into your everyday life. Morning ritual. Start with intention before checking your phone or stepping into the world. Pause. Place your hand on your heart. Breathe deeply. Speak aloud an intention. Today, I move with clarity. Today, I remember I am the creator of my experience. Then visualize your energy field glowing and centered. See yourself moving through the day in alignment. This sets the frequency. Midday check-in. Reset the field around midday. Pause for just 1 minute. Ask, am I in my loop or in my truth? Take 3 deep breaths. Shift if needed. Realign. Choose again. Small corrections throughout the day shift entire timelines. Evening reflection. Close with awareness. Before sleep, light a candle or sit in stillness. Reflect. What loops showed up today? What breakthroughs? Offer gratitude for even the smallest moments of clarity. Whisper a message to your dreaming mind. Reveal what I need to see. Then release the day. Let your consciousness drift beyond the veil. These rituals are not tasks. They are keys. Subtle actions that keep you connected to the infinite within. Because the loop thrives in unconscious repetition, but begins to dissolve under the gentle light of daily awareness. You've begun to see it now, haven't you? The loop was never just a trap. It was a teacher. Every repetition, every pattern was whispering, wake up, look again. You are more than you remember. This is the path of awakening, not a straight line, but a spiral, ever deepening, ever revealing. And with every cycle, every return, you are not the same, because awareness changes everything. It bends the loop into a ladder. It turns fate into freedom. To awaken is not to escape the world, but to see through it. To remember that you are not just in the loop. You are the one weaving it. This is liberation, not the absence of challenge, but the presence of clarity within it, not the removal of the pattern, but your rising above it. So celebrate your progress. Honor your resistance. Both are sacred. Both are signs that you are no longer asleep. And if you ever feel lost again, return to breath, return to stillness, return to truth, because the spiral will rise again. But now, you rise with it. And so we arrive at the edge of the loop, not to end the journey, but to see it for what it truly is. A mirror, a teacher, a spiral staircase guiding you back to yourself. Today you've explored the ancient wisdom of cycles and recurrence, the quantum truths that bend time and shape reality, the invisible architecture of energy, emotion, and belief, and the power within you to realign, reimagine, and reawaken. You've learned the loop doesn't own you. You influence it. With every thought, every feeling, every act of conscious intention. You are the observer, the dreamer, the architect. The loop may return. But now, you return differently. Now I ask you, what loops are you ready to rewrite? What patterns are you ready to alchemize? What truth has awakened in you today? Share your insights in the comments below. Let this be a sacred space where soul travelers meet. If this message stirred something in you, if you feel called to keep unraveling the mysteries of mind, energy, and spirit, like this video, subscribe, and journey deeper with us on Thaloria, Journey Beyond the Veil.